What's happening, folks? It's UNHOST here, and today we've got another snapshot overview. We've got the week 39 snapshot, and while a lot of it has to do with the lighting engine and Dinnerbone's changes to lighting in general, we weren't exactly supposed to get a snapshot today, as Jeb's out of town, and Dinnerbone felt inclined to share it with us exactly what he's done with the lighting engine and a couple other small things. There's not a whole lot of huge physical changes, but we do have things such as the F3 debug screen. You guys can see here that we've got the C's right after the X and Z coordinates at the very end, and basically what that is going to tell you what chunk you're in. So now we don't have to divide by 16 whenever we're looking for chunks, and it's going to be really helpful finding your slime chunks and all that. But as you guys can see, the little parentheses afterwards is what block you're in inside the chunk, and it always goes 0 through 15, and 0 is going to be when you're right on that border. So you guys can see there, we're moving the X and Z coordinates are independent there, and we're in the second, third, and fourth block away from spawn. So hopefully I explained that well enough for you guys to understand. This is a big blown up ravine and has nothing to do with anything, so let's get out of here. This is where we'll be doing most of our work, right here in the obsidian box. But first and foremost, I kind of want to let you guys know that Dinnerbone pretty much said that the lighting engine is changed now to kind of correlate with the loading new worlds and loading new chunks. When you load more chunks, and if you start a new world, you're going to get a lot more lag than you used to. Dinnerbone said a little bit, but I've noticed that it's actually pretty severe. I know I'm not the best candidate to be showing you guys like a lag and stuff, but we are in normal render distance with fancy graphics and smooth lighting. Now, while smooth lighting is broke in some cases, the general smooth lighting has been. Oh, here we go. We are getting to some new chunks right now, and you guys can kind of see the lag. That is the new lighting engine, and kind of mixed with my shit computer. So we're going to kind of go back and not experience any more lag. That's kind of a bummer, but you guys will be able to see if you do have the new Week 39A snapshot. It's a little bit laggy when you're loading new chunks and when you're starting a new world. So that's kind of a bummer, but I think a lot of us that are using the snapshots for single player and multiplayer will kind of just have to adapt. I know when we started the Snapshot server, there was really no other servers doing it, but now it feels like every single server that I know is going to the Snapshots. So this is our testing facility for the day, and let's get back into the visibility mode. I want to cover this all up so that there is no light coming in, no external lights. I think there's one more hole here. Let's cover it up. There we go. So as you guys can see, there is only one light source, and that is this little torch here. So we've been given changes to stuff like pistons, slabs, stairs, all that, pumpkins, and furnaces. We have been able to experiment with smooth lighting, and as well as the directional lighting. Directional lighting is kind of a new thing in Minecraft, and I'll go over exactly what that means. So the only two items that have been given directional lighting, while there is still some bugs, and we'll go over that, I do want to show you guys exactly what's going on with the directional lighting. So we'll place a pumpkin there, and we'll place a furnace here. We're not going to turn this on quite yet. We'll put that yummy pork chop in there. Let's get rid of this light for now. And, okay, I guess we can go in F3 mode, the debug screen, and you guys can check out exactly what's going on with me. So this is exactly how it is supposed to work. You're supposed to have the highest light level in the front. We've got black light 11. And we are supposed to have the remaining 5 sides are supposed to be diminished, and from what I can read from the Reddit post, it's supposed to be diminished by 30%, but there's kind of a directional issue here. The face is actually not giving off the highest light level. The block light level is 13 for that, and 11 for here. That might be a directional issue, as we can see. And that's seeming like what it's going to be. So another thing talking about how these are a little bit messed up. I'll show you real quick. We'll turn this on right now. Like I said, these are the only two light sources, and we'll cover up the face. And you've still got some light showing. We'll cover up the face here, and I guess the best way to show you guys this is to cover up one by one. So we'll cover this up, and it's completely dark for the furnace. Now the sides, we're supposed to actually have a block light level of 9, and it's pretty thorough, as you guys can see. And the front is 11, but once we cover it up, it's completely gone. And as you guys remember, that is not exactly the same thing for the pumpkin, although these were supposed to work simultaneously and, exactly the same. That's not the case, so hopefully Dinnerbone's working on that, and maybe this can give him an insight into exactly what's going on. Just wanted to show you guys in game exactly how that worked, so that's a little unfortunate. So we'll get rid of the pumpkin, and now we can talk about the slabs and the stairs and all that. So as you guys can see here, the light is diminished by supposedly 30%. There we go. Block light level of 8. Remove it. There's 11. Let's see if you completely cover it up and put the slabs here. You still get a little bit of that lighting. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. There is a little bit of light right here, and it's also surrounding the furnace just a little bit. As we can see here, it's just barely getting lit. The sides right there of the slabs. So we'll take this off here, try out with the stairs. Now if the hitbox of the stairs is completely covering the face, you're going to get that tiny little bit of a light glitch like we used to get. But if you've got a little bit of it facing out, let's go to the black light level again. I hate that pie chart. Let's see, you've got the black light level 4, but when you're covered up, it's 0. And let's see, let's test it out like this. Block light 4. So if anything is exposed, you're going to get a light diminish of about 50% or more. And let's work with a more reliable light source, guys. Okay, here we go. We've got the torch right here. I'm going to try to use the most universal and the most easiest stuff to understand, the kind of language and all that stuff. I'm not going to go all technical for you guys, so let's charge this block here. All the other blocks are charged, as you guys can see. So we're going to mess with some pistons real quick. There we go. Yeah, the light has been extremely diminished. As you guys know before, the pistons used to not affect anything whatsoever, and actually in my base, this is the setup that I've got for a lot of my floors, actually. And let's see, it is completely broken, and that's really unfortunate, to be honest with you. I'll kind of leave that light on in the distance. So now, while the pumpkins aren't the best thing to use, let's use some glowstone just to show you guys a little bit more that it's completely broken. Like I said, that's really unfortunate, but I'll try to keep my opinion out of this. We'll test out the sticky. Yep, same thing. And as we can see here, it also works with the hitboxes of the pistons. When we first place it, it'll be completely dark, but once it updates in that one tick, you can see the light. So it's kind of like the same with the stairs right there. And let's see. Let's open up our F3 and kind of test it out a little bit. So we get 11, 0, and 4 whenever it's getting updated. So you guys can kind of see how that works. So it's working with the hitboxes. I know I was going to say I was going to leave my opinion out of this, but just in my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of other folks, this really isn't maybe the thing to be working on. I know the black spots and all that is very necessary. I'm not one to tell people exactly what to do and what not to do. It's really against my thoughts and actions and all that. I kind of want to see if this works as well. But yeah, that doesn't even work. There really needs to be. This really is just going to create a lot more problems than it is actually helping. As you guys can see right here, I mean, in my opinion, this should block off the light if the other doesn't. That's like I said, just my opinion. So I kind of want to test it out a couple other things. I know it's not complete by any means, but I kind of want to see how some other things work. Let's just see about the trap doors here. I know they haven't really been affixed to that. Yeah, no changes at all. Let's put on the top. Nope, nothing at all. So I'm going to read to you guys some things that are straight from Dinnerbone's Twitter and the Reddit changelog. The initial lighting calculations do take longer. That's what I was telling you guys before about the loading chunks and loading a new world. But in the long run, you're going to get better performance. So if you're an explorer, it sucks for you. If you are a person that likes to stay put, stays by spawn and all that stuff, you're going to get a little boost in performance. So they have fixed the nether light lag, supposedly, and they have fixed the general lighting performance, like that's what we were talking before. Fixed the black spots occurring on newly generated worlds. I guess there's really no way to exactly reproduce that unless you generate an extreme hills biome or something like that, or some caves. But it's really random. It didn't show up very much, so it's going to be really hard for me myself to go through an entire new loaded world. As one, it takes longer, and two, yeah, it's too rare to really just go out and do it. So, no, I'm not into coding and all that, but I'm gonna guess that it kind of checks for these black spots and everything like that. And while it is a glitch, it's not going to show you the right light level. If it's updated, I think what it's actually doing is going through and checking if it is a black spot or not, and automatically updating it. So that might be the reason that we are getting a lot of lag on starting new worlds and loading new chunks. So another kind of controversial thing that Dinnerbone said was you really need to pick one when it comes to the lighting engine, which is speed and reliability. Me personally, I'm going to go with reliability. I really don't care about having my spawn just that little more, better in the lighting area and lag and all that. I could deal with, the amount of lag that we're initially getting. I don't really mind it too much. It's not that bad. So I guess in the long run, I'd stick with reliability. So, well, let's keep my opinions to a minimum again. Also, the fancy lighting is pretty much broken from what he said. I don't see it really being broken. I did notice when I went into my multiplayer world on the native server that even though I was in fancy lighting, it was still block by block. You can see it wasn't very smooth. So as you guys can see, it's not really that big of a difference here. But I'm sure it's really kind of going case by case. So, also the placing sounds are different. I know in the week 38B snapshot, glass was broken, but it's all better now. Let's turn that up just a little bit. There we go. I'm happy about that. Sand was also broken, and it's all fixed. I think they got rid of some of the sounds that sounded like fapping and all that. So I'm really happy about that. That's pretty good. So I also saw something in the changelog saying that witches were showing up white for some people. I never actually had that problem. I think they're supposed to be white anyway. Are they supposed to be black? No. Oh, well, the hat's messed up. So cool, great. I wonder when they're going to actually have them spawn somewhere. I think it's either going to be one of two things. They're either going to start spawning in the those little boxed-in areas with a little covering in the middle in the strongholds with some cauldrons and shit all around them, or maybe they're going to actually spawn in the freaking swamp biomes. I bet they might do that. The swamp biomes little hut or something. So, yep. Ew. Well, alright guys, that's pretty much it. There are some more technical things that have to do with lighting, but those are the only things that have been exactly worked on and noted, of course. There is some kind of creeper type issue that Dinnerbone said Eth almost got in his last video. They fall, and I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is. All of Reddit's trying to figure it out right now, but so eventually we'll find it out, and there's probably some troll tactics from Dinnerbone in this snapshot as well that he has not told us about. But this is all that has really been stated, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That is not supposed to happen. That is unfortunate. Excuse me, sir. Alright? Cool. Just making sure. Alright, so I hope it was actually pretty thrilling for you guys to see me mess around with lighting and all that, and all that other stuff, but that is this week's snapshot, and be ready for next week's. The release date for 1.4 has been kind of confirmed, I guess you could say, for before Halloween. That's what Dinnerbone said, so hopefully we can look out for that pretty soon. And again, I do appreciate you guys joining me. If there's anything I missed, I will put it in the description below, so you guys can check that out. Please actually check it out. There might be some other things. I'll also put the download for the week 39A snapshot in the description. So I bid you dudes a farewell from the awkward obsidian box. Y'all take care. Stay native. Stay classy. Be easy. Adios.